Welcome to the Dragon Ball Super Chapter 95 review. We're finally getting closer and closer to the end of this arc, finally, and I can't wait. But unfortunately, we still need to witness Cell Max appearance, Gohan Beast, more fighting, and the sacrifice of Gamma 2. So I'm hoping by the very least we can start the new arc by the end of this year. I mean, it feels like an eternity at this point.
Oh yeah, that age, it's an eternity.
I know we hate seeing the same things we've seen from the movie already, but this chapter at least offers a bit of insight of Krillin and his family, and some extra things. So Krillin, 18, and their daughter Marin walks out of the Clean God 2 movie, and I'm sure Dr. Hedo loved the hell out of this movie too, knowing the Clean God fan that he is. And hey, check it out, we have a teenage Marin. And looks like since she's a teenager now, she finally grew a nose and doesn't have to suffer like her dad Krillin, who still doesn't have a nose till today.
What is your problem? You insensitive asshole!
They're walking out of this movie and Krillin senses Gohan's energy as he confronts the Red Ribbon Army, and the police contacts Krillin to help locate the army's base. Before I go any further, I just want to point out Krillin wears a cool One Piece shirt. Well, it's definitely a One Piece reference. The word one and then the peace sign is there, which is a cool touch. By the way, very special episode this week for One Piece, am I right? I know you guys are waiting for it. Krillin insists on going alone and instructs the police to evacuate the nearby residence. 18 overhears this conversation and realizes that their family day is about to be interrupted, and she is not pleased with this. She reminds Krillin about their previously made dinner plans, but more importantly, to 18, she's not messing with whatever female in the police force Krillin was talking to, which was the sergeant and his boss, and her name is Sergeant Nuts, by the way. I swear, her first name better be D's.
What's the biggest thing you've ever made?
The biggest thing I've ever made? Probably these nuts.
It just seemed like a missed opportunity if it's not. And is it just me, or is long-haired 18 way better than this short-haired look she has going on for her right now? But anyways, 18 says she's tagging along just in case. Returning to the intense battle between Gohan and Gamma, it's evident that Gohan has reached his breaking point. Fueled by the fear for his daughter's safety, Gohan unleashes his full power, and he's determined to prevail in this fight. He's no longer holding back, he's ready to take control and clutch this fight like he's the last alive in a search and destroy match in COD. Seriously, he's smacking around this Gamma in his ultimate form, and Piccolo can't help but be so happy with Pan that Gohan is finally back. I swear, this is literally the Gohan fandom anytime we see Gohan finally do something relevant or cool again. So I understand your hype, Piccolo. So in the middle of their confrontation, Gohan and Gamma engage in a battle of ideologies. Both fighters attempt to understand each other's perspectives until Gohan straightforwardly expresses his belief that Gamma's notion of justice is flawed. Gohan points out that kidnapping a child is far from being just an act. So Hedo a moment later tells Gamma 2, "Hey, your bro is getting his ass whooped. I'm gonna need you to step in there right now before he embarrasses himself any further." Gamma 2 tries to rush him, but Piccolo yeets his helmet at Gamma 2's head, and he's ready for the action too, and he's also ready to get his get back because last time, Piccolo was the one that ended up fleeing from his battle with Gamma. However, this time, he has his power-up that the Gamma's unaware about, and at that moment, he exposes himself to Gohan on the battlefield. These are some really nice panels here of Piccolo getting his payback on Gamma 2, by the way. Upon discovering Piccolo's unexpected presence, Gohan can't help but question his appearance, and I love how he questions him because all I can think is, come on Gohan, you know Uncle Piccolo's always gonna show up in the heat of battle. When has guys like Piccolo and Vegeta failed to show up in a cool fashion for a big fight? At least in most movies, right? Don't y'all dare tell me that the movies isn't canon so it doesn't count. You guys know exactly what I mean. Gohan starts getting annoyed during his fight because how much longer can this guy go, right? So Gamma unveils his android ability to fight at full power until his energy is drained, currently standing at 82%. So while Gohan may be putting in the work on Gamma, he may very well exhaust himself before Gamma even reaches his tail end of energy. When we go back to Piccolo's fight, he still ends up struggling with even his boost in strength. Sounds like you need to step it up, Piccolo. God damn it, if only you were a race that just increased in power time and time again, no matter what, with so much potential. Agreeing on the urgency of the situation, Piccolo and Gohan waste no time and launch a relentless assault against their android foes. With swift movement, both Gohan and Piccolo charge towards their opponent, landing powerful strikes, a punch from Gohan and a kick from Piccolo. Gamma 1 retaliates by shooting blasts from his gun at Gohan, but Gohan just deflects each one and retaliates with a forceful headbutt. Meanwhile, Piccolo engages in a strength-based struggle with Gamma 2, each trying to overpower the other. However, when Gamma 2 notices Gamma 1 faltering in the background, he swiftly uses his gun to shoot at Gohan, attempting to throw him off. Fortunately, Gohan manages to dodge the blast just in time. When Gamma 1 and 2 manages to get back together, for a moment, 1 starts questioning if Gohan and Piccolo are actually evil after all, and 2 instantly says yeah, simply because Dr. Hedo says that they are. Again, following orders blindly because the creators told them to do so. Exactly what Piccolo was pointing out to them later in the chapter. They attempt another move this chapter, and honestly, the best thing they could have done. They both try to tag team Piccolo and speed blitz him, like how my Mimic and I speed blitz Margit and Elden Ring every time I do a New Game Plus. But this is probably the best thing if they could have knocked Piccolo out. Only because Piccolo was already struggling so much against 1, they could have knocked him out for good, and then they could have had a better chance against Gohan and even swapped out against Gohan when 1 was almost out of energy. I mean, at this point, Gohan was already getting pretty exhausted. In a turn of events though, Gamma 1 and 2 execute a double team attack, forcefully kicking Piccolo deep into the ground. But Piccolo takes a positive turn as Gohan swiftly dashes towards them, grabbing one of the androids before they could do any further damage to Piccolo, allowing Piccolo to break free and toss the other aside. Witnessing Gohan and Piccolo's actions, Piccolo manages to make Gamma realize that they're not evil, but rather blindly following misguided orders from someone like Hedo, who in turn receives faulty information from Magenta, and that's what this all is. Magenta gave Hedo very faulty information about the Z Fighters from the moment they met, and this deep realization upsets Gamma, driving him to deny the truth and intensify his assault on Piccolo out of anger. As Piccolo continues to be pummeled into the ground, he recalls Shenron's words about granting him an extra surge of power. At this crucial moment, the unleashed power surges through Piccolo, triggering a transformation. The chapter concludes with the emergence of Orange Piccolo. For those of you who have been following along since last year, you might remember that I wasn't initially a fan of Orange Piccolo's look. However, I'm starting to appreciate it a little bit more, especially after a friend pointing out that the orange color relates to the Dragon Balls being orange and the connection of the Dragon Balls with the Namekians. It's a simple but cool connection, and I don't know how the fuck I let that slip me by at first, honestly. Another chapter of Dragon Ball Super is now behind us. I will say I'm pleased with this chapter. It definitely provided more details compared to some of the previous chapters that closely mirrored the movie. It's refreshing to witness moments like Krillin's interaction with his jealous wifey Android 18 at the beginning, or the expanded fight scenes involving Piccolo, Gohan, and the Gammas. It added more depth to the story, at least in my opinion. Especially with the Gammas questioning the nature of good and evil in the middle of battle. And the highlight for me, which was the attempted double team maneuver against Piccolo. I'm overall happy with what we got from this chapter. Also, shout out to Toyotaro for the excellent choreography depicted in the chapter. His artwork enhanced the reading experience. I'm loving the choreography that he's drawing for these fights, to put it simply. I'm still hoping for a more detailed explanation when Gohan unleashes his beast form, but we're just gonna have to wait for that, so fingers crossed. Let me know what you guys thought of the chapter. Make sure you hit that like and sub button if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one.